So, I spent a great deal of yesterday catastrophizing and feeling gut-wrenchingly awful about myself and my capabilities and my shortcomings and stuff. And the shortcomings that I have to deal with are really something else. It doesn't feel like I'm choosing to be lazy or I'm choosing to be incompetent. It feels like I just am. Like there's just something in my brain that just can't handle it. That I just can't handle it. And it feels like I'm angry at that part that just can't handle it. And I can say to myself, oh, well, yeah, you can handle it, But, then 24 hours goes by and it's a new day and I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I'll just push this aside, and then it just ends up biting me in the ass. I mean, I know you can do better than this. I don't have a scale as to, I don't have an ability, I don't have a device of measurement to measure myself or diagnose myself or see clearly what is going on. I mean, I can speculate and I can go, oh, well, it feels like laziness, but laziness is kind of like, you just don't. There's some times where you just, you're tired and it's a Sunday and you're lying around in bed. Laziness doesn't fall into the category isn't designated. It's a much more extreme case of laziness when you just don't remember. It just doesn't formulate in your mind. It's you push it off almost willfully. It just doesn't seem. It seems so outlandish. And I used to like to tell people, or I would remember the story. And I mean, I want it all to be different. I just want it to be different than this, what this is, because I know there's a land of happiness that I can achieve. There's a place of mental stability where I'm not on the edge constantly. But I remember this time when I was 10 years old. I had a paper route, and I did that paper route religiously. The paper route started when I was 10. That's funny because I remember I tell this story, and I think I was a little bit older. I definitely was older than 10 when this happened. I was probably 12. It might have been 13. Because I know I was in middle school, and it was like I had put to words. I had articulated something that I most likely had been feeling all along. I was on my paper route. I was late delivering my papers. I couldn't get it together that day, and my mom was saying she was screaming at me, and she was saying, you're gonna get it together, and we're gonna go do your paper route, and you're gonna make it happen. And maybe screaming was maybe it didn't. Okay, she was irate. She was irate. I remember she was irate, and she was dismissive, and you're gonna get this done, and it was just it was a big catastrophe. And I remember getting out of the car and slamming the door to deliver a paper. I had a paper in my hand, and I remember saying, "Fine, fuck it. That's how I'm gonna live life from now on. I'm just gonna say fuck it, fuck everyone, fuck it." And I remember this. I remember going to deliver the paper, and I remember somebody pulled into the driveway when I was walking back to my mother's car. Somebody pulled into the driveway, and she had to stop for me. And this tire, she kind of came to this sudden stop, and the tires screeched a little bit. You know, it wasn't like a skidding stop. And I looked at her. I glared at this woman who, stopped suddenly in the driveway while I was walking by, and then I walked by her, and I got in the car in the back seat, and I said, "See, that fucking bitch almost ran me over." And there was this kind of definition of how I had been feeling. It was almost like I in a jokey kind of kidding sort of way, I said, or to myself, I'm just going to resign, and I'm going to say fuck it, and I'm not going to care, and I'm not going to take on the responsibility, and I've taken on all this responsibility, and I get nothing but shit, and I feel like shit. And then Mother turns around, and she's angry at me, and I was really rebelling, though. I was really frustrated and furious, and I said, that fuck it, this is how I'm going to live life, just fuck it, nothing matters. And she said to me, "Yeah, man, that's a good attitude to have." And it was a battle. It was a battle. We were at battle. She was mad, and she would go on and on. I mean, it was really psycho, and it didn't make me feel like I needed to shape up. It made me angry and furious beyond words, and I just remember thinking, well, that's it, fuck it. And I go, well, you're not going to live. I said to myself at some point in time, probably within the next 24 hours, or at that moment, you're not really going to live life like that. You can't live life like that. That's no way to live life. And and I remember being freaked out and scared because there was nothing else I could really do. There was no other recourse I had. I didn't have anyone else I could turn to and go, I'm really feeling worked up, and I'm very angry, and it shouldn't be this way. It just shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't be this angry. No 12-year-old should be this angry. There should be more understanding. There should be layers of understanding and recognition and resources. It just shouldn't be this way. And it's just interesting how I've dealt with that, most of my life.